If you followed my channel for any length of time, you know I've been working on my project bike slash Poseidon X since the day I bought the frame. And somebody's going to inevitably ask, why did you put so much into a bike that you're probably just going to beat up and destroy? Well, a few reasons. One, a learning experience. I wanted to learn how to paint. I wanted to learn how to paint bikes specifically because I've painted before. And I wanted my X to be different. So as it sits, well, let's back up. Here's the backstory. I was at a gravel ride. Another rider who had a very beautiful Fairlight said, "My friend has a Poseidon X. Yeah, it's just like yours, matte black. Yeah, those wheels." And I'm kind of going, "No, it's one off. You know, I bought a frame, I built it up. Yeah, but my friend has one like it." So I was kind of smitten by his Fairlight. So I, was focusing more on his bike than my own. But when I got home, something just kind of smacked me and said, "You know what? I'm going to make it so that my X is not like any others, and no one else can say their Poseidon X is like mine." Excuse my puppy Luca. He wants to come out and play, but he can't play in the garage. So I went back to the drawing board on the X. And a couple of things that I've done is recently I went to the Redshift Kitchen Sink bar without the loop, 42 millimeters wide, which is not my usual thing. You know, I love narrow bars. I've loved a narrow cockpit since I've started back riding as an adult, which was about 6 years ago. Um, Great bar from what I can tell. Has a nice back sweep, which I do like. They are kind of thin. They're not that thick. So I do have some fat wrap coming, and I'll review that after I've had it a while. But it does put me or give me more options as far as positions. So nice flare, nice back sweep, not too wide. And I haven't measured the tops, but I'm thinking they're somewhere around 40, even though it says 42 with my shifter angle. So still on Hunt gravel, start over. Hunt gravel race wheels with the Pirelli Cinturato Gravel M. I like them, but I think I probably would have had a better ride, or I would have been more satisfied looking back if I had gone with the Gravel H. The M is nice on dirt and gravel. The gravel rides that I go on, there's a fair bit of tarmac, and on tarmac, I have to put out a little work, have to work to keep up. So the H, which a lot of the other riders in that little group have, seem to work better, and I'm on 40C, and everyone else is running 38. And I started on 38, and I probably should have kept 38 with a Gravel H. So my next tire set will be Gravel H, or I'm going to go with the new Gravel Kings. I shortened the cranks. I found this crank on sale, and so I went from a 172.5 down to 170. Matter of fact, I think it's a 175. So 175 down to 170, like my road bikes. And the first couple of rides I've been on since I painted, it actually rides very good. Feels very similar to my road bikes now. And I'm able to kind of keep my cadence up into the 80s, which is where I like to live. The paint. I'm not going to go into the color of the process. If you, like I said, for the people who've been with the channel for a while, you know that I started with spray.bike on my Raleigh Cadent. That system was very easy to use. You spray it, you take a rag and kind of flatten it out, and you could ride, put the bike back together the next day. For people who wanted a little more, you could let it cure, sand it down. They have their own clear coat. This was a powder coat in a can, basically. So very easy, not overly complicated, and forgiving. I have a little bit of body shop experience, so I went with a 3-stage system. So a base coat, the color, and then 2K clear. Base coat and the color were not that big of a deal. 2K clear can be a little bit of a monster to work with. You've got to have good ventilation, exceptional prep work, and some skill at buffing and polishing. So I did all of this to a gravel bike because probably in the future, I'm going to expand out and maybe do some painting. I'm going to throw me a little shop in the backyard and paint. So I wanted to really stretch this bike and really do a good job. This is the second time that I've used this paint on here. The first time I built a small paint booth in one half of my garage, but it wasn't well ventilated. Being that it wasn't well ventilated, I got a lot of overspray, which killed the paint job. So this took me somewhere around 3 weeks or so, start to finish. I removed my logos, sanded down a few spots, had a couple of spots that didn't work well. You know, if you've ever painted, I had some reactions and I had to go back and wound up using a little bit more material than I wanted. This is a rattle can job, by the way, but I do have that experience with cutting and buffing, so I was able to get this thing pretty slick. So this is where it sits today. I am not going to do much else to it now but ride the crap out of it, beat it up, and test the durability of this paint before I start painting other people's bikes. May paint one of my other bikes. I actually do have plans to clear coat my Miata titanium bike, but I think this is going to be it with the funky stuff for now. Well, that's it. That's my update on the Poseidon. I'm going to leave it right here, other than changing the bar tape and maybe soon swapping tires. Thought about going with a carbon wheel set, but I don't think I need to. And I'm actually considering getting another gravel bike in the future. So that's it for now. I'm not going to bore you anymore. Not going to really go into painting as a process because it is difficult. I'm not going to lie. This was frustrating. Even with my experience, I had a few setbacks and I started to just strip this down, get some black spray.bike and just paint it and be done with it. So hope you like it. Hope to have some more content coming up soon. Until next time, peace.